Let's do it. Let's do it.
So first things first, I was sent this by Darkstar. It is part of the Snyder topic. So
not that.
You know, Snyder was at the SnyderCon, right? Well, people are at the SnyderCon. I don't know where it's taking place. I really don't care.
It's cool that people were able to meet him and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, just have to pay like $800.
He actually looks like a cult leader when he's up there. Like when he's talking about like how he can't keep going on about this suicide prevention thing after everything the Snyder fans have been doing recently. I'm sorry.
So let me play this real quick. So this is someone asking him about the Snyderverse on Netflix, and then we'll get to the video.
Oh god.
All right.
Look, the fan base has consistently
Can you guys hear Zach now?
been amazing and consistently
been amazing.
Regardless of what I think, the fan base has their own ideas and they seem to win. So you can tell them, you know, that's all they're winners, you know. So, you know, where's that drink at? That's all I gotta say.
So basically, they're asking about
consistently are amazing. So torpedoing movies that had nothing to do of directors who passionately come into movies like with all good intentions and torpedoing their movies for no reason. That's amazing behavior, is it? This guy's a fucking clown. Like I swear to God, every time I hear him speak, I think I'm wrong about Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm like, maybe I need to rewatch that shit again. No, Zack Snyder. How can you say your fan base is consistently amazing? They are toxic. I love toxic, vile, ridiculous people who have just been, for no reason, just jumping on other directors like Matt Reeves, like fucking David S. Sandberg, like trying to torpedo their movies, trying to torpedo The Flash, Andy Muschietti, who's even using some of the Snyderverse, calling his movie The Flush. How is that amazing behavior?
A lot of the Snyder movement is actually supporting The Flash.
No.
Are you kidding me? The ones who were calling it The Flush?
Yeah, no.
Some of them.
Well, you know, at least
there's a few, but majority.
Yeah, there's a few.
Flush, because they know what's going to happen after the movie comes out.
You told Victor this was possible. What does this mean?
You say a nice guy, but like, I just don't understand how a nice guy can continue to encourage people to do shit like this. I know he hates Warner Brothers, but there's other directors, his own peers. You know, there are other directors who are good directors who love, you know, they may not love the comic book characters, but they love making movies and they want to make good movies. And you can tell they do. And he's just like allowing this fan base to like completely, I mean, I don't know, maybe he's not on Twitter or something, but I don't understand it.
He knows exactly what he's doing. It's been documented many times, this shit.
Yeah,
this one.
He knows. Look, I'm not saying I'm not gonna act like he doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing with this fan base. Yeah. But let's go ahead and watch this video real quick.
Watch this.
Possibly a Kryptonian, and that so that Wonder Woman's powers. Anyway, you can sort of see where that's going, you know, because, you know, the whole thing of like whether or not magic and the gods, you know, there's a version where like, okay, that's cool, I guess.
I beg your pardon?
But like, you know, there's also...
That's cool, I guess. Can we pause? That's cool, I guess. A version where Wonder Woman and powers and magic, and that's cool, I guess. As if your idea is fucking better. That she comes from fucking, she's a science-based character. Shut your fucking mouth, bro.
Watch
I
this.
swear to God. Anyway, I'm glad he didn't do it. At least he was insightful enough to know not to do this in the end. But the fact that he even still thinks after seeing Wonder Woman that this was remotely a good idea is baffling to me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he was huffing too much glue.
Yeah,
You have like a mythology built up of like where do gods come from? Like what is that about? You know? And so anyway, we had played around with that quite a bit.
And Ares was the one that caused the scout ship to crash.
Yeah.
And be in the ice.
See, now that's some bullshit.
What?
Yeah. He killed his crew.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
you can't just throw that out there.
You can.
That's not. That
I just
requires
did.
some follow-up.
We have a lot of conversations about this stuff. So
Aren't you glad DJ came instead of Larry?
Larry might have said that too.
All right, other questions.
So just to sum it up for everybody, they had a thought, right? There's nothing that happened, but they had a thought where Ares was a Kryptonian. He was going to be on that ship, the scout ship that crashed on Earth, and killed his crew and stuff. And one of the missing people from the pods, there's going to be a woman that starts that is like one of the Amazonians' ancestors. So basically, Ares is a Kryptonian. The ancestor of the Amazons would have been a Kryptonian, which doesn't make any sense because if that's the case, then all of them should be shooting fucking laser beams out their eyes. They should have super hearing and all that bullshit if that's the case. But whatever.
No, that's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard in my entire life.
But
I am so glad this motherfucker didn't get to do anything else. I'm
so glad he's done. That's the dumbest. Like, if Zack Snyder thought about putting Batman in a pink bat suit, his fan base. Oh my gosh, Batman's in a pink bat suit. Zack Snyder's a genius.
Yeah, and then if anybody else does it, though,
don't crucify them for it.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying Zack would do that, but I can just see him doing it.
Yeah, I have to say though, I want to thank Zack Snyder, for making this call. And I mean, I believe it was for charity, or something. But I want to thank him for doing this though for another reason, because the low number of people who attended, and also 50% of them who attended being total incels like that Sill dude in that clip, and the people raiding his car, it just completely exposed and proved our points again about the real size of his fan base and also the type of.
Wait a second, I thought it was sold out, wasn't it?
But there's a low attendance. It's sold out. They were trying to increase it, but they weren't selling.
It sold out with the little event, but
but they wanted to expand it, but there wasn't a high enough demand, so it only sold out for the little event. They would have, but not enough people.
It's not like a Super Bowl size event.
Right. I mean, look, I think he has a decent fan base. I'm not like trying to undermine his fan base. But again, I told you, Wonder Woman fans are the most saintly fans I've ever come across in all of comic book, because by all rights, like if tiny things that he did against Batman and Superman or whatever, like Robin dying or whatever. I know it's not like tiny. But in the grand scheme of things, does it ruin the core of the character? No. The thing about the Zeus, like by all rights, Wonder Woman fans should have gone apeshit over that, because we've been complaining about that when they did that in the New 52 comics for a long time. A lot of Wonder Woman fans complained about that, and we didn't say anything because we knew for the most part they captured the spirit of the character. And you know, again, hopefully there'll be different iterations in the movies, and maybe one day somebody will come along and do something we like in terms of that, or the certain Wonder Woman fans, because some Wonder Woman fans do like the Zeus thing. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of them don't. So we didn't try and torpedo the movie because of that. But this shit is too much. This is like you're taking one of the feminist icon characters and you're just like completely subordinating her to a male character by going, oh, her mythology isn't good enough. We're going to use Superman to kind of prop her up. And then it hurts Superman as well. You know, it hurts Superman in the sense of, how would you put it?
Well, okay, if that's the case, right? Well, Nerman, you're so far you're on.
Like,
if when Superman, I see it. I already seen Dark Side video. If Superman, from the premise, which it is, he's the last of his people, right? Now we've seen him down the line, more Kryptonians showing up, Zod, Supergirl, all that.
Yeah.
If he's supposed to be the last of his kind, he's on Earth, and Ares is a Kryptonian, the Amazons are Kryptonians, then he ain't the last of his fucking kind.
Yeah.
It's not a unique thing for him if the Amazons are all Kryptonian too, including Wonder Woman.
Exactly. And how did the Amazons, like, how are they immortal? So would they not have been immortal either? Would they have would they have to have bred with men? Because, like, obviously if they survived for that long, they must have had men. It completely. And also,
where's Superman's electricity powers? Because if Zeus is a Kryptonian, like they was going for, where's his electricity powers? Where's his telekinesis powers, like Ares? Where's all these abilities at?
Yeah,
because Superman is a pure Kryptonian, Right.
Did you see the new clip?
And surely their powers should derive from the sun. It's so stupid.
No, there's one about
yeah, go
on. There's one about like event and stuff like that, talking about Jeff Johns and shit with that and Watchmen.
Oh yeah, please let's see that.
So I'm a fan of shit, but I can't. This is. I can't ever get to this point. If I ever get to this point, guys, as a fan of anything, slap me back to reality.
I'm saying this is literally like 50% of the attendees. This is just
I mean,
exposing the fan. I'd say props.
The only way I could understand Zack Snyder doing what he's been doing recently is if he just wants to keep that fan base. He doesn't want to piss them off, and he wants to keep that fan base. He wants for Rebel Moon. That's all I can consider. That the reason he's doing this is that he wants to keep them for Rebel Moon.
So right here, suppose they say something about Jeff Johns. About to play the clip.
Yeah, something about Jeff Johns.
It's kind of like a Snyderverse like related question, but like I saw Watchmen, I loved it. Casting was perfect. Casting for Justice League, Batman vs Superman, perfect. Like I don't know if you're familiar with Doomsday Clock, but I was wondering if that was like in your vision or if like what you think of it, and like was that ever gonna like come to like fruition eventually in the future?
Was Doomsday Clock keeping out at time?
Which one was Doomsday Clock?
It was like the crossover between Watchmen characters.
Yeah,
and,
was that the
DC.
Jeff Johns?
Yeah, Jeff
comic?
Johns.
Yeah.
DJ. Like I saw this on Twitter.
What a fucking idiot!
Like
we
I
don't
said,
talk about that
like
guy.
I said, probably not.
It's kind of like a
So wait a second. Just let me get this straight here.
Jeff Johns.
You just because Jeff Johns wrote the comic, you wouldn't consider doing a Watchmen fucking DC crossover. Is that what you're trying to say right now? Because to me, what they're doing with Superman, with the Averse the Authority, I think would be much more interesting if they did Superman because since they're not going with versus the Elite, I think it would be much more interesting to tap into the Watchmen and see what happened if the Watchmen crashed into the DC universe. I think that could get a lot of box office, and you're not willing to do business just because what?
Jeff Johns.
Like because of Jeff Johns? I mean, it's so stupid. Like what did Jeff Johns
He's
do
a very
to these
good
guys?
writer. He's a good writer. I don't know.
And that's why
they have a big, like all Snyder fans have a big vendetta against
But
Jeff
why?
Johns.
Why? Snyder hasn't said anything that I've ever heard like that has come from Zack Snyder's own mouth.
It started
I have
when
never heard anything that he said
it
tells me
started
that
when
Jeff
he was
Johns
in.
did anything that bad to them.
It started.
I
when
know
he
what
was
he
in,
said, by the way, but go on. You can.
It started when he was in charge of DC Films. Like he kind of had that position,
Yeah.
and then ever since that, like he's not part of that division anymore. He just does comics. But like ever since that bad experience of about 2017, like him in charge a little bit.
Yeah, but dude,
People
what
hated
did
him
he
ever
do?
since.
What did he do? He wasn't in charge like the way they think he was in charge. They asked him. So he didn't do anything to BVS, first of all. He actually worked with Zack Snyder, whether he wants to fucking admit it or not, the lying cunt. He worked with Zack Snyder on BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like in terms of writing. He worked on Wonder Woman. I'll show you a video where the guy goes, like basically Jeff Johns was on set with Wonder Woman 1 and was helping write that shit. Right? So you want me to send you the link? I can send you the link to it, but like this, I don't know exactly where it is. But it's the Alan Heinberg interview. The point I'm trying to make is that that Jeff Johns basically was told to do something.
Yeah, I know.
It was Kevin Tsujihara told him to do something, and then he did it because it's his job. And then these guys are trying to ruin his that's toxic what they just did there. That's like, again, they're setting the Snyder cultists against this guy. Like, for what? Because he was involved in, like, I know it's terrible. His daughter committed suicide. He needed to take a break. He asked to take a break. They wanted to get the movie out early. They did something stupid. Kevin Tsujihara. It may have even been Jeff Johns' idea about Josh Whedon. But even if it was his idea, it doesn't matter because in the end of the day, it had to have been signed off by Kevin Tsujihara. He didn't have the power to like make it a 2-hour cut. And
that's not also the reason why people hate him. The main reason is the Ray Fisher.
Bringing in John.
The Ray Fisher situation is the whole reason why people hate him.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything to Ray Fisher.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's not much else I could say on this shit aside from I'm glad this dude is gone from DC. I don't even want to see him do no Justice League movies on Netflix. I hope Netflix can't do it. I don't want to see none of that shit. Don't keep him away from it.
Anyway.
Don't let him have it. Because if you want to have him come back and do like a Swamp Thing movie, okay, that's fine. You want to have him come back do a Batman TV show or something, or a Jason Todd Red Hood movie, that's fine by me. But as far as anything like Big League Superman, no. Wonder Woman, no. Well, again, trying to move on from that shit. You can if they do Crisis on Infinite Earths, yes, bring his characters back for a multiverse crossover. Let's bring back Henry Cavill as Superman, bring back Ben Affleck as Batman, along with the current Batman and Robert Pattinson, all of them, but Until
I
then,
feel
Wait a
like
second. Wait a second. You're saying should they bring back Zack Snyder?
no,
If
well,
they should bring back, if
no. I'm not saying.
under what conditions they could bring back Zack Snyder?
no,
Yeah.
that he was talking about his versions of his characters.
Yeah,
Oh, the versions of his characters.
Yeah,
No,
the only time like I said, I just want that shit with Zach to just be done. I don't want to even see him do those Justice League movies because, Nerman, when you said the Batman, those two Batman movies come out around the same time could implode on each other, I think trying to do a Justice League movie on Netflix and a Justice League movie in the theaters is going to implode on each other even more. I think that's even worse to try and do. You have a Justice League movie over here. That's going to cause even more division.
I don't even think Crisis. Like yes,
there was.
I don't think it's going to happen. I do not think it's going to happen at all. But no, don't give him. He don't need no Justice League.
If they do Crisis on Infinite Earths, it's gonna be so far down the road because like I think James Gunn rearranged all the plans and did a totally different plan.
Sure.
Yeah. If they ever get to it, if they ever do, that's the only time I want to see his Snyderverse characters again is in a multiverse crossover thing. No, like I don't even want to see no Superman solo, Henry Cavill Superman solo TV show. I don't want to see no Ben Affleck Batman Elseworld, Batman Beyond story. I don't want to see no Gal Gadot. Like, move on from this shit. Let's get new stuff in. I'm done with this Snyder shit. That's why I'm glad all of them are pretty much getting recasted. Recast Jason Momoa as Aquaman too. Make him Lobo.
Yeah.
Need a new Aquaman.
No, I don't even need him being Lobo. I just don't. I think if they're gonna reboot, I think they just should reboot. That's what I've always said. But I'm not as hardline as you. I don't know about like. So now I don't want to see Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 and 3. I wanted to before, but some of his comments recently and some of his behavior, I just don't think he deserves it. Like honestly, now as a business person, if there was an angle there business wise, then perhaps
there is.
You know, if bringing out Zack Snyder's Justice League could. But I just, as you said, it would cannibalize the other universe because they'll be like, "Oh, this is the stuff," and I think it will be divisive, and I think it will be bad for Zack Snyder because I listened to his ideas, and I'm just like, "You're insane. You're literally insane." I don't know. There's people clapping for the fact he wanted to make like Ares Kryptonian and
Ares Ares is not a DC original character. He's exists in Greek mythology, but for the DC version of it, he's a god. Now separate the gods from the Kryptonians, from the Atlanteans, from the Lanterns.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That was what I was going to say. It fucks up Aquaman as well because Aquaman would have to be Kryptonian. It fucks up Shazam because Shazam would have to have got his powers from Kryptonians now.
Right.
It fucks up everything by doing that. It's like it's so narrow-sighted just for your little movie. You know, like even if it worked, kind of. For just his Man of Steel and Justice League, like it may have kind of like worked, like we want to give like real world explanations for all of these characters, but then you've got to think not selfishly about the other directors coming in. You know, now you fucked up Aquaman, like an Aquaman movie. Now, why would I watch Aquaman? He's basically just a fucking Kryptonian. Why would I watch Wonder Woman then? I might as well just stick to Superman. It's basically everyone's Superman. It's like, it's so fucking short-sighted. And I can't believe, as you said, I thought it would have been the studios who said it. And it's interesting. I'll show you a video after. I'll share a video with you after about like, my reaction to this back in the day, but it's again nothing as bad as what he is actually saying, like the Lois affair with Batman or the Kryptonian stuff. nothing as bad as that made it into his actual movies, and I'm glad of that. Somewhere down the line, he got some kind of sense not to do some of the shit he was saying, but the fact that he even has these ideas is absurd to me.
Yeah, it's like an illness. But that's another thing, though. If he got to make
like he knows about comic books, that's what they say.
Yeah, well, he always has to change it up a little bit from anything that has ever been done, just to add his pretentious spin on it. But here's the thing: even if he got those films, what a lot of cultists try saying is, we just want to coexist, like an Elseworld type things. No. If you got your films, then what you would do is you would then simultaneously purposely trash on the other ones with low ratings, just review bomb them or promote them badly as you are right now, just to make it seem like the other ones going on at the same time are the better main universe ones. That's what would happen if you got those films. You would not coexist friendly.
I have to go, K-Dots.
Yeah, I have to go as well. Yeah, to be honest.
I mean, real quick, what's the last thing you and Nurban want to say on this? Arkham, you go first. And Nurman, you say your last thoughts, and we'll get ready to close up.
On what?
On this Snyder specific, this specific. Well, particularly the Kryptonian Ares.
No, it's stupid shit. Like, just stupid idea, whatever. To like a lot of his ideas, I'm not a fan of. And it's like, thank God it didn't happen, but the idea of this was just terrible idea.
And he wonders why people like Jeff Johns were having arguments with him. Jeff Johns must have been listening to this going,
he's like M. Night Shyamalan. It's like all refused to do rewrites with his garbage.
Hey, it makes sense why Jeff Hare been falling out too. Ever since it makes sense. He's like, it's not. It's Zach walking to him. Hey.
Sorry, this is like Josh Whedon, where he's
how about he walked up to Jeff one time and say, Jeff, hey, I want to write a scene where Batman's in prison. He's about to get raped, but he rapes the people that rapes him.
Wait a minute, that was actually
no, but he did say something similar.
He joked about it.
I bet you probably actually do it, but
he did say at one point that he could see, he was talking about the Nolan movies and he was like, they think they're dark, but in my movie you could have Batman get raped in prison. It's like
the fuck.
No, he'd be like, hey, remember that comic?
Get raped in prison. He's done it.
No, he's like, you remember that comic that almost happened in the past, the rape of Wonder Woman? Let's actually do it this time.
Look, this panel has proved to me that Jeff Johns is a fucking hero. He is he's not only like, I just thought he was innocent. He's a hero. He had to come into work as somebody who's written some of the greatest comics of DC of all time, knows these characters like through and through, and his fucking whole DNA, and come to work and listen to this shit. Like directors saying stuff like this to him, he must have been going fucking mad. Like, well, specifically Snyder, I think. I think Patty Jenkins said some stupid stuff as well. And I think the reason Wonder Woman 84 actually is so bad is because Jeff Johns doesn't like Wonder Woman. He's never really been a Wonder Woman guy. Like, so
his strength's always been his strength's always been Green Lantern. People liked his Aquaman stuff.
Aquaman.
And they did like how he did reboot the Justice League at the start.
Yeah, but part of his New 52 Justice League was problematic. It was like,
it was. I'm not saying it wasn't.
Adding Cyborg, making Wonder Woman a ruthless killer, and all of this kind of it wasn't great. Like